Once again, back here, Gerald Brown, heavy in the paint. There has been a Rick Mahorn sighting. We're going to get Big Rick back. But nevertheless, it's about the It's about New York.
Right,
It's
right.
about the Knicks. You see, I got my starter jacket back,
Yes,
and I'm going to
yes.
put it on for my brother. And all I say is that this gentleman is a professional on and off the basketball court. He was a part of that Knick team and organization that, again, grew and did so many different things and got it going in the right direction. Part of the Bomb Squad, the legendary number 4, Mr. Johnny Newman. Peace, J. New. How you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
I can't complain, man. You know, New York City is bubbling. The Knicks
Right.
are relevant. They won Game 6 in this series. How do you like this series between them and the Pacers thus far?
Well, historically, it has always been a great series. I mean, a bunch of great players competing night in and night out throughout the year. And then when you top it off at the playoff time, it even goes to another level. And it seems just like the old days when you had all the Davis boys and Oak and Patrick, all of us, balling out, trying to take each other's heads off. It hasn't gotten back to that level yet, but it's been very competitive and a lot of woofing has been going on. But it's been a great series.
When you look at, and I've asked Coach Pitino this, and just to witness, in a sense, I want to go back to your start in terms of coming into New York and coming with the Knicks. And I remember when they brought you in, and it was like, Johnny Newman, who's this? Who's it? He played with Click. No, he's with Richmond. Talk about really that adjustment it was for you coming into playing with the Knicks and the expectations that come along with playing in New York City, the mecca of basketball.
Well, I tell you, if we go way back, I was possibly supposed to have been drafted by the Knicks, and that did not happen. And I ended up because of Chris Washburn, Walter Berry, the great Pearl Washington, and I think one more guy from Memphis. I can't think of his name now.
William Bedford.
They all came hardship. They went hardship. So they pushed me back in the draft. So I ended up going 29th to the Cavaliers. We had a heck of a team. Myself, my main man, Ron Harper, Brad Daugherty was the number 1 pick, Mark Price, and then John Hot Rod Williams was already there the year before, but couldn't play because he had to get some things straight. So that year we had 5 rookies, and we had some great players there. And I think John, the bag man, John Bagley. I'm going way back. He was a heck of a guard. Oh my goodness, could he handle the ball?
He packed that thing. He packed that thing.
He could pat it, and he could get it to you. So we had a team full of them. My main man, Mark West from Virginia, also. We just had some, the great Phil Hubbard. I mean, we had so many players, and and Lenny Wilkins was the coach. We had a great team. I learned a lot. I think Bags got hurt or someone got hurt, and I had to play right away. The 2 guard, small forward. That I was playing 2 guard, and I tell you, I learned so much. And I should have played because I could shoot that daggone rock. I could jump out the gym, and like I said, our practices were so competitive, and things didn't work out that second year. They were trying to move some guys around. They couldn't move it. I had guaranteed money, and boom, things happened. I ended up in New York with Coach Rick Pitino. And I tell you a quick story, Joe. I got the phone call because a lot of people don't know the Cavs had let me go.
Wow.
They had let me go. And they said, look, we want you to go to the CBA, our CBA team, and just chill because I think things gonna work out. But I told them this. I said, hey, I'm not CBA material. I'm NBA material.
Mm.
I said, I thank you all for everything you all did. Brian Winters was a shooting brother, way back. And he was the shot doctor. We used to call him shot doctor. So we worked out all the time, jump shot, boom, boom, boom. But I told them in a meeting, and they came down, and when they called me in the room, and everybody knew something was going to go down. And he had salary cap. So I learned the business early. I had guaranteed money, but to me, I'm a little different. It wasn't about the money. It was about my game and starting and playing and trying to make a mark in this league. So I got that phone call, and it was wild. My agent told me two things. He said, I got good news and I got bad news for you. He said, the good news is I got you some more money on top of your deal. And then he said, the bad news is you have to leave tonight. So I flew out. I'll never forget it. I flew out of Greensboro, North Carolina that night. And even before that, Gerald, Ron Harper breaks his ankle. And the Cavs called me back. They called my mom. And mom says, y'all shouldn't have never let him go. He ain't coming back. He not coming back. So I said, Mom, you're not my agent. You can't be doing that. And so I ended up going there. But when I got to New York, they had a car pick me up. When I got out of the car, they had another car was behind me. It was a black limo. Another black limo was behind me at the Hamsley Hotel. Ric Flair gets out the same time that I got out to go to the hotel. I said, hey, this is going to be a great time. It's going to be a great career move for me in New York. And it worked out like that.
When you look at what Pitino, I always say Coach Pitino was ahead of his time, because the implementation of the three-point shot, where, again, now we see it, it's almost like a rites of passage, where you guys were shooting three-pointers at a high volume, where guys were, instead of running to the basket, cutting to the basket, they flared out to the three-point line. How much did that really help your game? And also, if you were playing today, how many three-point shots do you think you'd be getting up on a consistent basis?
Goodness. We talked about this before. I know now I probably would get up at least 15, 16, three-pointers a night,
What?
because we were putting it up. Back then, 7 or 8 was a lot back then, per player. But,
right.
I probably be getting 15, 16 up. I mean, because it was like that. And that's what made it so great for me, because Coach Pitino knew me out of high school. And he knew me in college. I was taking a lot of shots from the parking lot. If I didn't dunk on somebody's head, I was shooting it from the parking lot. And they didn't have a lot of scoring other than Patrick. And hey, it was just, I wish that Coach Pitino and me could have stayed in New York longer.
Yeah. What was it about New York that you really enjoyed, aside from the fact, obviously the nightlife and all the things, but the attention. But talk about that team, because I always felt you guys had a really special team. But more importantly, it seems like y'all were growing together and stuff like that. What was it about that team that you were a part of with the Knicks?
We were competitive, but we were not scandalous. So we were friends. We were super competitive, but we were on the same page. We didn't really have, and this is early on before we start making some trades, and we were super competitive, but nobody did some ethical things to each other. Because on some teams, it could get so competitive, you can have a lot of fights, a lot of scuffles, a lot of just, adversity in the locker room. We had a lot of love. We hung out. We did a lot of things in New York. As you know, we had a good vibe, but guys were super competitive. And coach and the staff, Coach Pitino and the staff, they held us, hey, they challenged us every day. They prepared us well. They trained us hard, and then they gave us that confidence that, like, whatever, you can do this, and you can do whatever you want to do out there, and work together, and that was a big part of this team.
If you were on this current Knicks team that's in place right now, and obviously they're missing some guys from OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, how would you see yourself fitting in with that group of Knicks team currently, with Jalen Brunson, who's been spectacular, and then the Villanova crew and stuff?
Oh, we'll be waiting for the Celtics right now. It'll be finished. It will be finished. I think they are missing a type of guy like me that can score either way, can get to the basket long, and now you put in shooting the three, and I tell you, man, I would love to play, with Brunson. I knew his dad. His dad's a great guy. I moved around, but a super guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy for him and his son.
Yeah.
To be in New York, to be playing at that level. He playing at a scary level. He got the mad old school game.
Yeah.
The mad old school game that, when I had guys back in in Danville, Virginia, going at them out there. We had a guy named Shag, and he had the same type of game that Brunson has, that you don't think he can get by you, and then all of a sudden he didn't trick you, and he's already in the hoop. So those three guys are playing super together. That doesn't happen all the time when you get, three guys from the same school. They all guards. So they in that same mold.
Uh-huh.
And they tough guys. Hey, Villanova has always had a super program.
Yeah.
Always had a super program. And Jay Wright is, hey, I look to see him on the sideline soon. He's just that good, and I'm sorry to see him go, because Villanova always was so super competitive.
Yeah, when you win in New York, it's special. I mean, obviously,
Yes.
Playing in New York, and we're seeing the Yankees win championships. Talk about when you win, and when the Knicks are good and relevant in New York. What is it like as a player? I mean, obviously, it's so much that the fan base embrace you, but what is it like in terms of when you win in New York as a New York Knick?
You're royalty everywhere. Everywhere you go, you're first in line. You're first class. You just got that feeling when you are playing at that level in New York. For all the sports there, but especially for the Knicks. You run New York. I mean, you are embraced everywhere you go. You're loved everywhere you go, and that vibe and that fanfare, just it took me to a whole nother level. It took my game. I was one of the first big free agent signings for the Hornets.
I remember that.
When I left there, I didn't want to leave.
I remember that. I remember that.
And we got to talk to Al Bianchi one day and all about that. That's a whole nother story. But I didn't want to leave. But I tell you, coming back, I've always received so much love from the fans there. I look forward to going back soon. But you run the yard there. We had some great times. But we took care of business.
Yeah.
And that's another important thing. And that's one thing about New York. You can't get caught up into all of that. You got to take care of business.
Yeah.
Because the fans want the best. And I think my years there, we gave them the best.
Yeah. Now, I know that this is what was this deal between you and Larry Bird? Because quick story, I remember I was up in Boston working with the Celtics, and Larry actually drove me to the old Boston Garden with him, going to get to a game. And he was saying, man, Johnny Newman guard me. Johnny Newman can't guard me. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking he's playing, but he's actually souping himself up and psyching himself up. It was like, Johnny Newman can't guard me. He know better. I look, watch what I'm doing. Did you ever have any conversations with Bird, and was it like that? Because that was a part of that playoffs in which you
Right,
guys got down, I think 0-2, and then ended up coming back to win the series. I believe that was in 5 games.
right.
What was it ever? Was that ever that battle between you and Larry Bird, the great Larry Bird?
Yeah, no question, the great Larry Bird. He was a super competitive guy. Could shoot the lights out. Was smart, long, 6'8". I mean, Larry Legend is Larry Legend, but I had some super good games against him. Uh, and it's well documented. Everybody knows it, but and he would give me my credit. I remember there was an article that they were saying, oh, the Knicks got to get another small forward, da 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 da, and it was a cartoonist, and I still have it. And he says, well, hey, they got a pretty darn good small forward in Johnny Newman right now. So I've always had a lot of respect for Larry Bird. Uh, but if you know me, when I get on that squared circle, it's about me too. And whoever it is, I think I competed at the highest level. My name probably won't get called for the Hall of Fame, but some of them names we need to do a double review on some of them
Okay,
going in there. But
I'm with you. I'm
but
with you.
I tell you, my years and this league is a great league, but it's all about being at the right place at the right time to go to the next level of stardom. But first and foremost, it's teamwork and trying to win a championship, and all the other stuff can come. And that was my focus. I wanted to win a championship, but let's not be fooled. That era that I came through, and I'm a Larry Bird, Iceman George Gervin,
Ooh,
Dr. J,
ooh,
Big Game James Worthy,
ooh. Magic.
Magic, the Magic Man.
Ooh.
I came through that era and you didn't get a break.
Yeah. Did I hear you
When
mention
you,
MJ? Did you mention
oh,
MJ?
he's at the top.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't even like to say his name because people ask me all the time. There's only one,
Yeah.
and it's him.
Why? Why is that? Because I agree with you. Here's my take on this, and this is something I've gone back and forth. Shout out to BJ Armstrong. Him and I go back and forth
Mm-hmm.
on this all the time. I don't think that you could ever say a greatest of all time
Mm-hmm.
simply because the eras were so different. Now, I am a big fan of the eras of yesteryear. And I think a lot of the times players will get overlooked because we live in this sort of microwave society. People only remember the 5 years and all that stuff. So it's like, okay, what about Will? Will still has record standing to this day.
Right.
Then you got MJ and stuff. And you're right. And I mean, nobody mentions Kareem. This man scored 30,000 points with pretty
30,000.
much a one shot that has never, ever been
Yeah.
duplicated.
And they waited for him.
Whew.
I remember they'll run a fast break and wait on him.
Yes.
Said, Cap, just come on.
Yeah.
We wait for you because we knew that was money.
Yes.
But I tell you, when we talk about MJ, we came into a time that they were saying that the league was a little bit too African American.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit too drug infested.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came into the league turned all the way around and started going in a whole different direction. And the things he did on the floor, skill-wise, the championships, man, and his competitive nature.
Mm.
We would hang out some in Richmond, because my main man Oak was, at the Bulls, coming out of Virginia Union. I was at University of Richmond. He was at Virginia Union. So that's how we became buddies way back.
Okay.
when he was throwing cheers and knocking people out then, but that's a whole nother day of story. So we would all come down here and have basketball camps, play cards, do the whole nine. And he was competitive. And that would drive me. Look, you got to know coming in, he could have 30 or 40 on you. We ain't going to talk about 50 because I ain't going to go out like that. But, he could definitely going to have a 30 or 40 piece on you. But it made me get pumped up because I was like, if I can get 25, if I can get 20, if he go through that, if he try to shoot the passing lane and miss it, if I get it, it's gone. So I've always had some good games, and even playing against him and Scotty, which two great players in themselves, going back and forth. That's some work. So can't nobody talk to me about this league, 16 years in this league, playing against those type of players. Mm-hmm. So you have MJ and Scottie Pippen, where like I said, I played small forward and big guard, as you know. I would go back and forth as call us a swing player back then. Mm-hmm. And then the next night, you might go down to Phoenix. You might go to Seattle. And you got, you just got so many players that can go. You go to LA, you got Big Game James, you got Byron Scott, you got Magic, because you're going to be switched off because we can't let, the point guards check them. So you just have so many times, and then you go down to Atlanta, you got the human highlight film. So it can go on and on. We just talked about Boston. You don't get a break. You didn't get a break. And my era of guys wanted to play 82 games. I wanted to play 82 games.
Let me ask you this. Do you think as time continues to go on, mm-hmm. a player like Isaiah Thomas gets overlooked and almost like I don't want to put you in a situation, Steph and all that stuff, but just right. It just seems apparent. And my question to you is, players like Isaiah Thomas, players like yourself, do you think that it's always a situation that is easily forgotten and overlooked? Because
I'll tell you, a lot of players get overlooked. Definitely, I don't think it's Isaiah, because Isaiah, what he did in that one playoff game on one leg, I mean, and just an outstanding guard, just, one of the top guards. But it's some guys on that second tier, have gotten overlooked. And it is what it is. Mm-hmm. There's some guys out there that should be on broadcasting right now. But because they don't have a championship under their name, they're not getting a lot of love from the league. And that's unfortunate because they put a lot of hard work and tears into the game, into the league, been a model citizen throughout the league, kept their nose clean, battle, and got some decent numbers. 13, 14, 15,000 points is a lot of points.
It is.
So, it happens like that,
right.
Unfortunately.
When you look at Nikola Jokic, what he's done, I thought it was very impressive. When you looked at the Denver Nuggets, they go down 0-2. And Minnesota, a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon and said that, this is the next team that I thought would go back to being bigs and the game changing from working outside in to back to being inside out. When you look at Jokic and how the Nuggets have rebounded, how impressed have you been with his performance at the forefront for that Denver Nuggets team?
Well, I really like his game. I love his game. He's highly skilled. But as you know me, one thing I like about him, he got a lot of dog in him. I see how he pounds in. I see on the spin move, he sticks that elbow right in your chest, right in the middle of the defensive player of the year chest on the spin move. And I love it. And, he shoots the ball well. He passes the ball. And he's in control of his game. He doesn't rush his game. and he still comes up with 30, 40 points. He doesn't rush it because he's highly skilled. He really picks his times that he wants to really try to take it. And when he gets pissed off, he's going to try to bang you and back you down. So he has been, he has really, um, I must say has earned, at least 2 or 3 of those. What he's got these 3 times or 4 times.
Three times, man.
He's earned at least 2 of them, I know for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
For sure.
I can't knock you on that. When you look at the Boston Celtics, right, and obviously they had an unbelievable season, kind of like a throwback. When you look at that Celtics, how impressed are you at the way the Celtics team has played, even though they've had, Kristaps Porzingis has been out, for a good portion of the playoffs and stuff. What do you like, and what are your thoughts on the Celtics in that Eastern Conference?
Well, I tell you, the Celtics, they're playing some great basketball right now. I don't know if they're up or down right now, but they were battling with a depleted, Cleveland Cavalier roster. But the bench has been the savior for them all year.
Mm-hmm.
The white kid, he's played super.
Yeah, Derek White.
Super. Yeah, Derek White. He has been just phenomenal, knocking down shots. He's really been I think he's been their most valuable player.
Mm.
Because he pushes them, and you got some of the other guys, Pritchard off the bench. They have been coming through, and they have got that second squad working almost better than the first squad. That's out there as far as working together and getting the job done. So I think the bench has been the key to the Celtics. Now, Porzingis comes back. Wow. I mean, he was playing some lights out basketball for a while there.
Yeah.
He got injured because, that Tatum and Brown, they seems like they want to take turns. Your time, we can't really get them on the same night.
Uh-huh.
You give me 35, one gets 35, one gets 40 on the same night. And I don't know what that's about. That could be, something that hurts them because, we always say you need 2.5 to 3 scores to really do well in the playoffs. 2.5 to 3 scores. And, Boston has been really getting some good, consistent play from some of the players who, are not max contract guys.
Yeah. Now, before I let you get on out here, just a couple more questions. Johnny Newman joining me here on Heavy in the Paint. When you look at the Knicks, if you had an opportunity to address this team moving forward, because, again, they take care of business against Indiana. Boston is right there. And, obviously the next step after that is getting to the NBA Finals. What would be the message you would give to that Knicks team if you had an opportunity to let them know the opportunity that's at hand?
Well, it's hard to win. I think Doc said that at his last press conference, Doc Rivers. It's hard to win, and it's hard to win in this league. Mm-hmm. Everything has to fit together. And unfortunately now, the injury bug, the tired legs, the tired body syndrome is coming into play. And that can be part of it. And you have to peak at the right time. And the bodies have to be peaking at the right time. And I think the Knicks have peaked and been playing well. But now it seems like the bodies are hitting the wall. Mm-hmm. You're seeing guys grabbing their hamstrings and, all that. That's the body catching up with you. So that could be a hindrance too. But, this is an opportunity for some guys that step up. I don't know all of the guys. Some of the names I'm definitely not up on that's, a little farther down the bench. But, if they can somehow maybe get 1 or 2 guys back, which that's tough at these times because you get the games coming so fast.
Yeah.
It's just tough. It's just tough, but this is a great opportunity for them. This is something that's been a long time coming at this level. It's been a long time since the Garden has been rocking like it's been rocking the last, 3 or 4 weeks of the playoffs. So, I would say just, you know, get healthy as fast as you can, on your days off, and there's not that many. And, guys who haven't had that opportunity to step up, and anything can happen, because the same thing that happens with the Knicks is going to happen to the other teams. So you might get that break and can get by with your, with that top 6, 7 instead of that top 8, players in the rotation. You might be able to slip by, because injuries just don't stop at one team. They go all around.
Yeah. What is Johnny Newman doing these days? Because I know, again, man, obviously so many different things, foundation. So you had a basketball camp coming up, so much of giving back. What is Johnny Newman doing these days, and what are you aspire to do moving forward?
Well, I tell you, I'm just enjoying it. I've taken care of, uh, you know, a lot of things, my body being one, and my mind. So I have several businesses here in Richmond, a lot of real estate. I have a foundation. I'm the president of the Police Athletic League down here, which we're getting ready to build a $50 million facility.
Congrats.
So it's a lot of things, going on for me. I have a, great life, great wife, great family, great kids. They're all doing well. So, I'm happy. I'm having fun. I travel a lot. We travel a lot as a family. So I'm just enjoying it. I miss it. And as we were saying, I definitely gonna, catch a playoff game or two in the near future, especially if the Knicks can keep doing what they're doing and get to the next round. Definitely try to get to the Garden. But Johnny Newman is just, just relaxing and working hard when I on some of my projects and some of my passionate things, like my foundation, and helping kids realize that they can put wings on their dreams, and do the hard work, and they can take off and do whatever they want to do. So, again, it's just been great, and I've been very blessed.
I tell you this, man, seeing your progress and coming into the Knicks, and I remember first day you showed up and stuff, and to see your progression. I always had to tell you this. I ain't never tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you now. You had the flyest fade I had seen, my brother. That fade you had was fly. I'm seeing you now with the afro. I'm saying that fade you had was fly. And
I appreciate it.
Man, hey, your outfits sharp, man. Sharp like a number 2 pencil on the first day of school. Man, I'm telling you, that fade sharp, man. Sharp. I said, man, I had people telling me, say, man, Johnny Newman. Yeah, I said, yeah, man, that fade.
Yeah. I try to keep things tight. I appreciate that, and even being in New York, I know I had to be tight, because I was gonna be on that tube. MSG, all of that was gonna be playing, and I had to be right. And I said, if I look good, I'm gonna play good, and that's what mine was.
You definitely did. Who was the best dresser on the team, in your opinion?
Oh, it was me first, and then everybody else next. Mark, Mark, he just, his suits was a little big on him.
Yeah, Mark.
We didn't count him.
No,
we didn't count him. No, Gerald tried to give me some runs every now and then. My man Gerald Wilkins, but we had fun with it, and like I said, it was all in good fun. Nobody never, took it to a bad level, nasty level, and we were just competitive all the way around, and that really made us even closer.
Yeah, no, definitely. I tell you, you guys are all part of my teenage years and growing up, and I really appreciate it. Was just the little small things that you guys did, and the communication and the camaraderie. I can definitely concur with what you say, that it was a close-knit family in there. You guys were great to one another, to me, and really to see you guys, even at this stage, you know, definitely wiser and stuff, and to see you guys doing great, you know, I'm really appreciative. And I say personally, thank you for your kindness during that time. And sometimes I might have been that little peasy head kid, a big nose kid running around, being all in the way you want, just getting in the way. But you just don't know how much it meant for me growing up, because I felt like I had all these brothers and really just had an opportunity to see you guys shine. And it's just what you guys did on the court was secondary. But make no mistake, man, I applaud you. I salute you, man. And from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you taking time out tonight to share some good thoughts, man, and great times. And you come to New York, definitely got to make sure we chop it up over a meal and stuff. And definitely,
no question.
And look forward to doing it again.
And we're proud of you. We're proud of you. And I tell a lot of people when we do all the shows that you have and you're involved with, we always say, I used to tell them you were on my payroll, you were my ball boy. And we don't have to talk about everything, the French fries and the hot dogs and the phone numbers and all of that. We'll
no, you're talking about. That was Eddie Lee Wilkins.
But we appreciate you and we're proud of you and continued success. And anytime you need me or I can come on, I'm there for you. And again, I'm sorry that you have to deal with Rick Mahorn so much. And I don't know where he is, but we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, I definitely. You know what, he probably somewhere in the refrigerator. Truth be told, Big Rick has lost a lot of weight.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Gerald.
He lost a lot of weight. But he's still putting that dye in his hair and his mustache.
Oh my God!
Again, he trying to look like Alexander O'Neal on the comeback. But Johnny, man, I appreciate the time, man.
Right, always.
The legendary New York Knicks. I don't care if he played for any other team. He's a New York Knicks.
There you go.
Johnny Newman, heavy in the paint.